am Brother Alan Ngoma. The 31st of July is my birthday. Honestly, I really don't care about my birthday. I was not in celebration on the previous day, the 30th of July. We had a night vigil in the church. In the morning when I went home, I saw my child singing the birthday song for me, but in my spirit there was no interest in this celebration. I said in my heart, last year I was in mission in the forest around the lake to evangelize the native. I won souls in the mission field. Why am I spending time at home, not in the field winning the lost? Last year on this very day, I was at the front line winning souls. I said, Lord, I need a new orientation and a new direction for this year. I need to walk and win souls. I don't need to celebrate this so-called birthday. In the night when I went to bed, it was between the 31st of July and the 1st of August, and I had a dream. I want you, brethren, to follow this carefully. I saw in this dream that I was praying, but a man was knocking on my door continuously, which interrupted the prayer. I went to open the door, and to my surprise I saw a tall and robust man dressed in resplendent white garment. He was radiating light, and I could not see his face because of the brightness of his light. I said, please, can you bring down the light of your garment that is blinding my eyes? He replied, my garment is always shining with this brightness. However, I can touch your eyes to enable you to bear the light of my glory. When he touched my eyes and I was able to bear his glory, he told me that I heard what you were saying in your heart. That you have no interest in your birthday celebration. You said if only you could have a clear direction about what to do for my kingdom, you will go out to win souls. Since you are seeking direction and seeing, you have eyes to see and understand. I have come to tell you about the imminent and great event that is about to happen in the world. Quickly we got in my house. He took seat before me and asked me to sit. When I sat, he asked me to open the television. I said it's not working, it has a problem. Then he did a snap with his finger and the television opened. He said, watch the images broadcasted in television and I will explain everything to you. When I look, I saw on the TV a massive bank in glass with a lot of stock of money. He told me, Alan, the bank you see in television means that in coming days people won't use money note anymore, for it will be withdrawn from circulation. The whole world will be controlled by this bank, because a new way of transaction will be imposed upon the world population. The first way will be the phone. People will buy and sell only with their phone, and you won't buy any stuff with money note again. People will go to shopping with their phone. It will become the only way. There will be no more money note. Once the world gets used to this system, then the second method will be imposed, and this will be electronic chip implanted on people's body. All transactions will be done through electronic chip implanted in people's hands. Everybody will be in the obligation of receiving the chip on their body. It will be a mandatory law. It will be difficult for my people that will not accept this law. They will be chased and hunted down. The church will be persecuted because my people will reject this chip. My people will be sent to jail, they will be persecuted and they will suffer. They will be hunted down and they will flee and seek places to hide. Moreover, they will no longer have the power to buy and sell anything to eat in shops and supermarkets. The electronic chip will be the only way to buy and sell. Grave times are ahead and dark days are coming. My church will be in unprecedented difficulty and you won't know what to do. This is the first message I brought so that you warn my people. Understand that the introduction of this microchip will happen before the rapture and before my imminent return. My people will be overwhelmed when these mandatory measures come to force. They will be cornered and they will be stuck. They will be against the wall and they will not have a normal life again. They will flee to hiding and unable to buy food. In this scenario, I will not be a spectator. I will order my angels to sound the trumpet and I will remove my church from the land to be with me. Since these laws and measures are in preparation and about to come to force, tell my people to wake up. Tell them to watch and pray. You will tell them that their savings that they are keeping in their bank will become nothing. Tell them that I want each one of them to invest in his respective village away from the big city. Tell Africans that are in Europe and United States, despite the fact that they live there in the West, they must invest in their respective villages, not in big city and town, for the enemy will capture big city and town easily. Those that live in big city will suffer the most. It will be difficult for them to live a normal life without the microchip. Tell my people when they come back to their villages to invest, they must also evangelize and start new churches of narrow gate there. Then the Lord spoke to me about my local churches. Some of our mission has failed and some have succeeded. You went on to preach existing churches instead of starting new churches of sound doctrines and narrow road. You wasted times in churches of prosperity teachers that would not preach sound doctrine. Nevertheless, you will tell my people when they come back to invest in their villages, they must evangelize and build new churches of sound doctrines and narrow road. The third thing that you will tell my people is to do agriculture and breeding of cattle in their villages that will become productive. When the enemy will begin to pursue my people all over the world, you and your children will seek refuge in these villages, where you have invested in agriculture and breeding of cattle, where you have already built narrow road churches of sound doctrines. The time is coming, you will be looking for a place to live away from the national government, since you won't be able to buy and sell unless you have electronic chip. Your farm, plantation and cattle will help you to survive. You will have enough vegetable and meat to eat. That's where you will not suffer hunger because of the electronic chip. Tell my people to invest in agriculture and breeding in the country away from big cities. Money notes will cease to be in circulation. They will be forced to accept the electronic chip to be able to buy and sell. If they don't do agriculture and breeding now in their villages, they will go hungry and they will end up getting the electronic chip. The devil has a plan that is drawn out, and according to this plan, everything will be confiscated by the national government. All property will belong to the national government, and the government of the world will be assembled in the global order. Everything will become property of the government. There is coming a time everything will be confiscated by national government. Even your house and palace will become the property of the national government. Unless you comply with government measures, you will be kicked out. The devil is planning to nationalize private property, and the state will confiscate property by force. I am warning you, beloved, to invest in your villages far from great city. That's the way you won't be reached easily. Begin to do agriculture and breed cattle now, and you must remember to evangelize in your village and region where you are investing, otherwise you will not live there easily. You got to evangelize in these villages to make it easy for your children to live and grow in Christian walk. If you fail to evangelize in your native village today, I will ask you the blood of those that will be lost tomorrow. The coming days will be evil days because the church will be persecuted. You may die today, but what have you prepared for your children? You must begin to teach your children now so that they will understand sound doctrine. They must master sound doctrine with precision and exactitude. If you don't teach your children sound doctrine from young age, I will require from you their blood. The Lord said the time has come where every believer must become a missionary. Men and women must enter the field of mission and evangelize. He said, be extremely careful, this is grave time. The enemy has designed new plan to destroy the church. I know why you are here. You gonna want my children to prepare themselves. Announce to my church this revelation. The enemy is about to impose a mandatory chip to the population of the world. Unite and go to the villages and evangelize, do agriculture and breeding there for you and your children. Time is coming there won't be money in circulation and you will not be able to buy and sell. My people will be in trouble. Warn them, save souls, otherwise the blood of the innocent will be on your heads.